Hey, this is Cole from the Grand Duchy of Ebonmarch, and I am here today talking about Safety 101 in Amtgard. Um, Safety 101. So I'm just going to go over what is safety in Amtgard, how to stay safe, and what to do in case of unsafe situations. So, uh, one thing I greatly stress is personal safety, safety equipment. Uh, so, in order for you to continue to play the game longer, it is best for you to have your own personal safety equipment. Uh, it is not necessarily recommended. I mean, not necessarily necessary for you to play the game. You can walk out there and just your garb, no gloves and nothing, and go out there and have fun. Um, so, one thing I always recommend is hand safety. Uh, in this game, you'll be hitting your hands a lot. Just nature of the beast. Between blocking out swords, blocking out pole, blocking out whatever, I recommend having gloves. I prefer these MMA style gloves. Fingertips are still open. Lets me still be able to throw spell ball, stuff like that. A lot of people have hockey gloves um, or lacrosse gloves. So, hand safety, very important. Wrist safety. A lot of people who mess up their shoulders, elbows, wrist. So safety even comes down to how are you throwing your shots. If you're hyperextending your elbow, hyperextending your shoulder, are you throwing shots way too hard? Do other people feel unsafe when, uh, you're throwing a shot at them? Are you being hit in non-legal zones? Um, so other safety things is thing about that. For extra safety, I have a mouth guard. This mouth guard just locks in the top part of my teeth and like that, and it still allows me to cast and talk and everything. So you say safety or anything like that, it's still good. It pops out, get a little case. Um, so, uh, uh, so uh, hand protection. Some people have eye protection, like the lacrosse, like gate frame goggles. I personally just don't wear my glasses because, for safety reasons, because they get crack in, hurt your eyes, anything like that. If you take a bad shot to the head, some people I've seen wear helmets and everything. Some people I've seen just wear helms just for the safety factor of it. Um, a lot of people wear groin protection, wear a cup. Some women wear chest plates. You can get at Taekwondo, karate type of classes. They have like a plastic plate to cover their chest. Um, Ankle protection, knee protection. For my knees, I wear just these $10 Black Hawk knee pads. They're great for everything. Just keep in mind, like any other thing, we're wearing elbow pads, knee pads, ankle brace. If you take a shot in that location, try to take it because it's not armor. Um, so, safety wise, uh, personal protection is the first thing that's important. If you feel you get hit in the head a whole lot, one, don't head block. Two, maybe you might want to think about getting a helmet. If you, whatever reason, take a lot of arrows to your eye, get some eye protection. Think about those type of things first. Um, so, Personal protection is always great. The second thing, your champion should check all of your weapons. If not, have someone check weapons. Uh, I am I'm comfortable with the weapons I have. I know they're legal and safe, but I'm not hitting myself with my own weapons. Always recommend, well, it should always be done. Your champion should check all equipment at your park. Uh, so, I'm not gonna go over what a champion should do and whatnot and all that. My shield here, super sturdy. But even still, like my personal protection, um, should I get different straps here? Do I like the straps here? Will they cut into my arm? Same thing with wearing your armor and stuff like that. Um, does what I wear, um, is it safe for me? And is it safe for other people to hit? For example, I can't have spikes on my elbows and shoulders and stuff like that. sure, it may look cool, whatever. I can't wear a choker with a bunch of nails coming out of it, because if someone hits it, is it going to damage their weapon? It's going to damage them if they run into me or whatever. You always want to not just think about your own personal safety, but the safety of others also. So that also means the same thing in physical interactions. Am I being safe when I'm actually attacking and hitting other people? Why, if I keep hitting people in the groin or whatever, or in the head, what am I doing? Don't just sit here and think, oh, he's head blocking, he's doing this, he's doing that. What am I doing to keep this park safe? Am I just so happen to keep hitting people in the head? What am I doing wrong? So you always want to think about those type of things also. But a very important thing that I cannot stress enough is if you do not feel safe, get your champion, regent, any park officer you can, and inform them. So, it's even in the rulebook for Barbarian Fighter of Death. They can even remove Fighter of Death from you because they have seen it being unsafe for certain type of people. The skill itself, of course, is not inherently unsafe. But, when I'm fighting to death, I'm not elbowing people and running around and doing dumb stuff. It's you got to think about your personal safety. And if you feel unsafe, inform somebody. They will talk to them. Because I can sit here all day and, hey, dude, what you doing is messed up. What you doing is messed up. What you doing is messed up. I have no authority to change what he's going to do. But the regent can say, all right, you got a warning. Hey, you're out for a week or two. You know what I mean? They can do that type of stuff like that. Officer, I don't know why I keep saying regent particularly. But they have the authority to do that. Hey, Reeves, check that spell ball. So another thing, personal equipment isn't just, hey, my shield. The champion needs to check everything. Make sure they check everything. Spell balls. I've been hit upside the head with a spell ball that was old rubber bands before that have hardened in the cold and just a big brick. All kinds of stuff like that. That's another reason why your personal safety, your personal equipment needs to be marked with your name for accountability's sake. Shooting arrows, you're not allowed to even have arrows on the field anymore if they're not marked with your name. It's not just for me to retrieve my arrows. It's for safety wise. Why is there still? I've seen this before. Why is there still an arrowhead on this arrow? Stuff like that. Safety is a personal thing. Is a thing to think about from other people. So in Amtgard, the main thing to think about is if you're on the field, one, you don't feel safe, tell a reeve, tell an officer. Two, I'm in mid-combat, I hurt myself. What do? You have to yell safety. Back in V7, I believe people used to say hold, but they changed that to safety. So, say I'm fighting, I see it all the time, people twist their ankle. I'm fighting, I twist my ankle, I'm down. Yell safety. So within 20 feet, 50 feet area of y'all stop combat. Reeve, whoever needs to come over, assess the situation. But that does not mean the rest of the field needs to stop also. So they address, hey, what's going on? Oh, you rolled your ankle, let's get you out of here. And then they call 3-2-1, lay on that section. Or a lot of times people just move on from that area and keep fighting somewhere else. So say if it's more serious than that, I'm fighting, I catch, uncourtesy patent, pole arm to the face, I'm bleeding. You gotta yell emergency. So emergency, or, something a little more serious where they need, heat stroke, whatever, anything happens all the time in this game. Yell emergency, where you actually need multiple people to come out there to assess the situation. But with emergency, the whole game is stopped. So everyone stays in their spot, takes a knee, and the whole game stops. So, I'm on a 2 seconds left of my true grit. I'm at 2 seconds. I'm not keep counting. Everything is stopped until that situation's handled. So, talking about bleeding, getting hurt, and stuff like that. I personally keep a first aid kit with my bag anytime I go. Most parks will have a full emergency kit. And of course, everyone has a cell phone for 911 and all that if it gets that serious. But I personally keep a first aid kit with me. For me, whoever, whatever. You have them larger than that one, smaller than that. I always prefer to keep one. Heck, I mean, last fight in tournament, I got a giant blister on my thumb and popped it. Need a couple band-aids for that. Any and everything can happen in this game. And just like any other physical sport, things happen. So another thing I want to stress is don't take things personally. So in this game, it's a high stress, high energy. It's like playing any other sport. You're playing basketball. Somebody, someone's going to throw an elbow, whatever. Not okay, but don't get revenge on them or nothing like that. Because ultimately, you don't want to be kicked out for something dumb. Or, suspended for something dumb. Safety-wise, if you feel someone else is being unsafe, tell somebody. If you think that if people are coming to you and saying you've been doing things unsafe, assess what you're doing. Other unsafe things. So that's physical safety. So let's talk about emotional safety also, you could say. Abusive language. Abusive language is prohibited in this game also. That can also cause people to feel unsafe with the game or your park. So abusive language, I'm not saying, being a jerk is illegal and blah, blah, blah in this game, but if people are uncomfortable and they are saying something, think about what you're doing. Assess what you're doing in the game. So abusive language, any type of thing like that, you can still be suspended, anything like that from the game. Also, safety of your location. So say for example, during the winter, we do this a lot. We have fights out in the middle of the woods. Sometimes during the summer, we have fights out in the middle of the woods. We have fights up and down horse trails. We have fights over here. It's a fighter practice. We're fighting on concrete. We're fighting near the road, whatever. Think about safety of your location. For example, I went to one event and there's a bonfire in the middle of our night quest. So we had a big quest in the middle of the night. There's a bonfire in the middle of this. Is that a safe location? Because a guy ended up falling in it, caught on fire a little bit. Think about where you're standing. It's not just, it's the group, they shouldn't have, blah, blah, blah. Not even think about that also. But think about your personal safety. Don't want to fall in that. Think about your personal safety of, there's thorn bushes, there's poison ivy, heat, am I susceptible to heat stroke, stuff like that. Your personal safety is very important. So always think about that. Think about safety of your location. If you're setting up games, is it 100 degrees outside and we're having an unlimited life meat grinder game? Is that safe? Do you want people to catch a heat stroke? Safety of your park. Do we have water and everything out here and accessible for people? Are people too cold? Is our camping location bad for people? Think about the safety of not just when they're playing, but when they're resting. So a lot of that is very important. So let's see here. So I believe we went over everything. So safety of your gear, nothing crazy poking out, nothing like that. Nothing that's going to hurt yourself while wearing your own gear. Your gear is going to hurt somebody else. Personal responsibility and safety. If you don't feel safe, talk to an officer, talk to your champion, talk to your reeves. You hear unsafe, abusive language, anything like that, talk to your officers, your reeves, all of them, champions and all that. Safety, make sure all your equipment is safe, make sure your location, and most of all, if, like I said, if any of this, anything fails, if you feel unsafe, talk to officers, reeves, champions, whoever you can. So, I believe that's everything I have for the Safety 101 class. Like I said, it's been Cole from Grand Duchy of Ebonmarch, and keep fighting.